Hi everyone, today we're looking at exponential functions. This is part 2, involving us looking at laws of exponents. Okay, as you see, I've put up a rule. It states that when a is greater than 0, m is an integer, and n is a positive integer. Okay, so the rule is a to the power of m over n, and also it can be written as n square root a m. Okay, so now let's move on to an example. So basically, let's do a to the power of half. So looking at this rule, so m in this case is 1. So first of all, we're going to draw up our square root, and a is our base, and our exponent is half. So m is going to be 1, and n, which is the denominator, it's going to be 2. By the way, you don't need to write, for half, you don't need to write 2 square root a1. You can write it as square root a. a1 is not necessary, and 2 is not necessary, but it can be written. Okay, so our next question is going to be a to the power of 1 over 4. Same thing, we need to look at our what m and n is. So m is 1, so our base is a, and our exponent is 1, and n is going to be 4. So we put 4 outside the square root. By the way, you don't write a1, which is not necessary, so you can write it as 4 square root a. That is the right answer. Okay, so now let's do a to the power of 2 over 3. Okay, so we're going to draw up our square root and put the base, and so m in this case is 2, so we're going to put it inside the square root, and 3, which is n, which is going to be outside the square root. So that is how you write it. Okay, so now let's do a negative. So a to the power of minus 1 over 5. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go, this is going to be a fraction answer, because it's the reverse. Okay, it's going to be 1, 5, to the power of 5, square root a. Okay, so now let's do a to the power of minus 3 over 4. Okay, so this is also going to be a fraction, as it's a negative number, a negative exponent. So now let's put in our square root first of all, and we look for m. So m in this case is 3, so it's going to be a, 3, and n is 4, so 4. Okay. If you're wondering where the negative sign is gone, it's because we've changed it to a fraction. When you change it to a fraction, the negative sign disappears. Okay, so now let's do the reverse. So now let's go from a square root to our exponent. Okay, so square root a. So a, in this case, is going to be half. As you see, okay, it's going to be half. And now we're going to do 5 square root a. Okay, so this one's going to be a to the power of 1 over 5. Okay, so now let's do 4 to the power of a 3. Okay, 4 squared to the power of a3. So this is going to be a to the power of 3 over 4. Okay, because 3 stands for m, so in this case I just look at the formula. So we put 3, and then n, which is our denominator, it's going to be 4. Okay, now let's do a fraction. So let's do 1, and then 1 over 4, and then square root x. Okay, so first of all we're going to put our base, which is x. Okay, so it's x, and then minus 1 over 4, because n, which is our denominator, so it's going to be 4, and m, which is our top number. Okay, so now let's move on to some complex questions. So let's do 9. Okay, we'll just start off with an easy one, and then we'll do a complex question after for a warm-up. Okay, so first of all, when you see 9 to the power of half, the first thing you need to do is change 9 into a different form. We can write this as 3 squared, and then we can put our half, our exponent. So when you see this, the first thing you need to do is times the exponents. So basically, we're just going to leave 3 here. How we're going to do, we can just do over here, 2 times half, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. So it's 3 to the power of 1, which also can be written as 3. So that is our answer. Okay, so now let's move up to a hard question. 32 to the power of 4 over 5. Okay, so we're going to change the form into 2 to the power of 5, and then 4 over 5, which is the power, our exponent. Okay, so the next step is 5 times 4 over 5. So 5 times 4, which is 20, over 5, which is 4. So it's going to be 2, which is our base. It's going to be 2. We leave 2. And then our exponent is going to be 4. So 2 to the power of 4, which is 16. If you're wondering how I got this, you can go 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay. So now let's do 9 to the power of minus 3 over 2. Okay. So first of all, 9 can be written as 3 squared, and we leave our exponent to minus 3 over 2. And then the next step is to times it. So 3 can be left, and we times our exponents. So 2 times negative 3 over 2, which is minus 6 over 2, which is minus 3. So our answer is going to be 3 to the power of minus 3, which, as it's a negative, it's going to be the reverse, which is going to be a fraction. So fraction is going to be 1 over 27. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video on exponential functions, part 2, and involving us to look at laws of exponents. Bye!